What is good, YouTube? What is good, YouTube? It is your girl, Fantasy Football Girls with Bass. Yeah, I got my Colts hat on. It's kind of nice here in the morning here in Central Texas. It's around 70 degrees. I hope you all are having a great weekend and everybody is being safe, especially if you are in this storm. But I want to get on to my start sit video, some player props, some injuries. You just never know what's going to happen on this channel. Anyways, this is week 4 of the NFL regular season. Let's go with injuries. Jamar Chase, limited in practice. He will play. Shoulder injury. Rashee Rice, limited in practice with an ankle injury. I'm pretty sure the monster is going to play. I mean, a beast. He is a beast when it comes to catching these balls. A.J. Brown is out. Marvin Harrison had a quad bruise, limited in Wednesday practice. He's in. Tank Dell is out. He has multiple injuries. Mike Evans, knee injury. Chris Godwin, neck injury. He's in. Adam Thielen is on the IR. I don't even know. Well, now that he has Andy Dalton, he might be worth some value. But anyways, he's on IR. Justin Jefferson, a jam pinky, but he'll play. Deebo Samuels is out. Jordan Addison is in. He had an ankle injury. Keenan Allen, partial practice, but he is in. Trey McBride is still in the concussion protocol. He's out, and so is Devontae Smith. Man. Sam Laporta, ankle sprain. He's out. George Kittle, partial practice. He's a game time decision. Evan Ingram is out. Jordan Love. I mean, he did have a, kind of tough ankle. I mean, all sprains are tough, but man, I don't know if he's going to be mobile like he should be. And he plays the Vikings, who have a very good defense. Joe Mixon is out. Damian Pierce, game time decision. He has a hamstring strain. Jalen Warren is out. Malik Neighbors, concussion. I'm going to have to watch for that because he's on a couple of my teams. As I said, Devontae Smith is out. Austin Eckler is out. Hunter Henry is in, but he has ankle issues, so Justin Herbert is a game time decision. David Njoku's out. Gerald Ford, game time decision. Kenneth Walker, game time decision. And as I said, Sam Laporta is out. And this is also a reminder that bye week start after this weekend. Now let's get into our start sit. I got the Bears and the Rams. Of course, I want to take my Bears. Don't start none of their running backs. I can tell you that. Don't start none of the Bears running back. You're going to start Kyrie Williams. He's a low risk, 80 to 90% of the snaps. He's going to get tired he's going to get tired on down the line though. So keep a watch on that. Bears allow the third most running back touchdowns. And Keenan Allen will play, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Rams defense allows the second most rushing yards, as I said, and the sixth most fantasy points to running backs, but you can't take that chance with the Bears. The Bears' offensive line sucks. Cole Kmet is a mid-risk. Start DJ Moore, because he has a player props also. He has a player props of higher than 54 receiving yards. Rams defense sucks versus the outside wide receiver. So if you want to take that bet on underdogs, go ahead and take that bet. Let's see. Well, that's the Vikings. Demarcus Robinson, I'd sit him. The Rams secondary sucks. They allow the fourth most receiving yards to wide receivers and the second most fantasy points to wide receivers. I'm taking my Colts over the Steelers, and yes, Fontes, I do remember our bet. Najee Harris is a start. My Colts run defense absolutely sucks. But but Najee Harris was seen in a arm sling. So make sure you guys check out the injury report before you even start your lineup. Pat Fryermuth is a start. Jonathan Taylor is a start. Jaylen Warren is a sit. Colts allow the sixth most fantasy points to tight ends. The Cowgirls versus, well, they already played. Bengals versus Panthers. I think this is a revenge game for Andy Dalton, so I'm going to take the Panthers. Zach Moss start. Chuba Hubbard start. And he has a player props on underdog of 61.5 rushing yards. Cincy is a bad rushing defense, so these are just a little bit of bets that I'm taking on underdogs. Let's see. Get the Broncos versus the Jets. I think the Broncos, Pat Surtain might shut down the Jets, so I'm taking the Broncos. Garrett Wilson, as I said, will have Patrick Surtain, and I think he might have a player prop on underdog. Yes, Garrett Wilson under 54 receiving yards. He has Patrick Surtain, so that's on underdogs. Just telling you the bets that I took. Brees Hall's a start. Greg Deluge is a sit. Garrett Wilson is a risky, like I said, a risky starts. So is Cortland Sutton and Tyler Conklin. I mean, the tight end pool is slim, to say the least. Denver's allows the 10th most fantasy points to running backs. Wait a minute. And allows the 6th most rushing yards to running backs. How will the question for my subscribers is how will the Broncos defense get Rodgers outside the pocket? That's the only way they're going to win. Jets defense allows the 8th fewest fantasy points to wide receivers. So Broncos, yeah, wide receivers suck. So don't start none of those. Eagles versus Bucks. I don't like the Eagles defense. I do think they have a chip on their shoulder for barely beating the Saints. So I'm gonna take the Eagles, but that's barely. The Bucks are a good team, y'all. So watch them. Bucky Irvin is a flex, but I have heard that he's injured. AJ Brown is out. Dallas Goedert is a start. He's the number one tight end right now, which doesn't say much. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are a start. The Bucks are allowing the seventh most fantasy points to running backs, allow 200 receiving yards to running backs position. So, but I'm taking the Eagles. Then you get the Jags versus Texans, which I could care less about. So I'm not even going to say who's going to win. Travis Etienne is a start. Joe Mixon is out. Evan Ingram is out. Dalton Schultz, you got to start him because there's not much for a tight end. But he is going to be he is a high risk. This is going to be game scripted. Brian Thomas Jr. is a mid risk. Gabe Davis is a sit and he's injured. Nico Collins, low risk. Start. Stephon Diggs. Yep, and I am hungry right now. He's a mid risk. Cam Akers. Go ahead and start him. Tank Bixby is a high risk. Tank Dell is a flex option. Saints versus Atlanta. I still like the Saints defense, but then Atlanta's got a good defense, and my boy Jake, he liked the Atlanta. No, he was a Buffalo Bills fan. Never mind, he was an Atlanta Braves fan. So I'm taking the Saints. You're gonna start Bijan Robinson, of course. Sit Tyler Algier. Darnell Mooney is a start. This game will be a field goal or less. I promise you that. Mm, Bijan Robinson is 10th in touches. Kyle Pitts is a mid risk. Chris Olave start. Can the Saints run the ball on Atlanta's defense? That is going to be the question. Saints allow the ninth most fantasy. I'm sorry. Saints allow the ninth most receiving yards to wide receivers. Vikings versus Packers, I could care less who wins it. Tyler Chandler is a high risk. Jordan Addison hasn't really practiced, but I don't know. I wouldn't start him. Josh Jacob is a start, but this Vikings defense is really, really good. Man, that's coming from a Bears fan, so I hate saying that. Commanders versus the Cardinals. I got Jalen Daniels. But the Commanders, I'm going to take the Cards because the Commanders' defense just absolutely sucks. Brian Robertson is a running back 2 start. Cardinals' defense allows the 7th most rushing yards to running backs and the 8th most fantasy football points to running backs. Zach Ertz is a risk. Marvin Harrison is a start. Trey McBride is out. Uh, Scary Terry is a mid-rest. He's depending on that big play, man, so I don't know. Commander's secondary is trash, and Michael Wilson is a flex. Pats versus Niners. You can't really say you're going to take the Niners automatically because they got so many injuries. Deebo Samuel, CMC decided, this country, uh, physical therapy and surgeries for athletes sucks. He went over to Germany. So he's out. Who else is out? Kittle's a game time decision. Ramondre Stevenson, he's injured. I'm going to take the Niners because they still got Jordan Mason. The Niners have a good secondary. Pats defense allows the 10th fewest rushing yards to running backs. George Kittle is a game time decision. Pats allow the 6th most receiving yards to tight ends. Shawan Jennings in a mid risk, but all they got is Ayuk, and he's going to be double teamed. Are they going to put the best, defensive back on him? The Niners defense is allowing the 3rd most receiving yards and 7th most fantasy points to wide receivers. Brown versus Raiders. I'm going to take the Raiders. Rome Forward is a mid risk. Raiders defense allows the 3rd most rushing yards and fantasy points to running backs, but I still don't like Zamir White. This week is the last week he will be on my roster, and I am dropping his ass. Brock Bowers is a start. Browns O-line allows the most sacks to quarterbacks. Gardner Minshew is a start. Amari Cooper is a start. Good luck on that if you got any of those players. Chiefs versus Chargers. I got the Chiefs. Chiefs allow the 6th fewest. I'm sorry. Again, I'm sorry. Chiefs allow the 6th fewest rushing yards and fantasy points to, I want to say tight ends, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, Chiefs allow the most receiving yards and fantasy points to tight ends. So the first one I must have been talking about running backs. Samaji P. Ryan is a passing running back, so he's iffy. J.K. Dobbins is a flex. If you got Carson Steele, he has a low ceiling. He has a low ceiling because uh, Kareem Hunt is there. So that's iffy. Justin Herbert, he might play. That's a game time decision. Rasheed Rice is a start. He's a lock-in starter. Now, Xavier Worthy is a high-risk flex option. Lad McConkey is a sit. Garrett Quentin Johnson is a flex, maybe. He's so up and down, it's crazy. Ravens and Bills is going to be a great game. I'm trying to hurry this up because we're at almost 15 minutes. And this is the Sunday night game. James Cook. Well, James Conner for the Cardinals. Yeah, go ahead and start him too. Dalton Kincaid is a mid risk. James Cook is a high risk. Man, Ravens defense, bro. Uh, Zay Flowers is a start. God, you better do something. I got Mark Andrews still. Khalil Shakur, he better do something because I got him too. Ravens secondary hasn't stopped anyone. Justice Hill is a deep league flex. Oh, he's very high risk. I'm sorry. Isaiah Likely, get rid of him. Derrick Henry is a start. Keenan Coleman sit. Curtis Samuel, I forgot he was on the Bills. He's a sit. Titans versus Dolphins. Dolphins are favored. Last time I seen by -1.5, anyways. But I'm gonna take the man. Not taking the Titans. And who am I taking in the Ravens versus Bills? Ravens. That's hard to say. Tony Pollard is a risk, too startable. Von Achen, start him. Spears is a sit. D Hops is a flex now that yeah, he's a flex. Calvin Ridley is a high risk flex option too. And then I, Tyreek Hill and Jaden Waddle, I sit both of them. Sit their asses. And that's a Monday night game. That's Monday night. Then I got Seattle versus the Lions. Seattle, like, most commentaries and analysts have been saying you don't know really who they are, but you know who the Lions are, and they run and they pound the ball and they're just physical. So this hurts me as a Bears fan, but I want to take the Lions. Zach Charbonnet is a sit. Because they say Kenneth Walker is supposed to start, but I don't know. I sit him too because this Lions run defense is outstanding. DK Metcalf is a start. Tyler Lockett has fallen to maybe a flex option, and Jackson Smith Najigba flex and not start if you don't need him. Lions have the best run defense. Sam Laporta is out, as I said. Gibbs and Montgomery are a start. Lions and Seattle defense are very good against the run. Noah Fant, it's like Geno Smith doesn't see Noah Fant, and he's jumping up and down and waving his arms and everything, but he's a high risk. I mean, the secondary of the Lions does suck, but unless you need to start Noah Fant in a tight end position is limited, I guess you could start him. But please like, share, and subscribe, and follow me on X, Twitter, whatever you call it, at Girls Advice for Youth and Fantasy Football. Peace.